hands as the ball's coming to Higgins. It's pretty good coverage, I think, by Troy Pride. I like that there was no call there.
Brian Polian, the Notre Dame special teams coach, said one of the things you have to watch out for, particularly in big games, is fakes in special teams. With a big lead here, you would think they would play it conservatively, and Will Spires does punt it away, and Chris Fink makes a fair catch inside the 13-yard line. College football playoff national championship weekend in the Bay Area. That's going to be the place to be, whether your favorite team is playing or not. You can learn more about the events and festivities planned for CFB's championship campus at collegefootballplayoff.com. Don't miss out on the biggest weekend of the college football season. National championship game a week from Monday night in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium, the home of the San Francisco 49ers. Can Ian Book get this offense going? He's chopped down after a 2-yard run by Kayvon Wallace. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, everybody wanted to know how Clemson would absorb the loss of Dexter Lawrence, their great defensive tackle, and they've done it by committee. I've seen 3 different guys rotate in at his position, and as many as 8 on the defensive front. Clemson has rotated a lot all year. They're continuing that same tradition. Guys are fresh, and they've held up pretty well without big dents.
Book running out of time through a wobbler that's caught by Boykin, but very little gain for Notre Dame with Trayvon Mullen right there.
And we talked about the touch chart for Clemson in that first half, particularly the second quarter. Notre Dame not able to do the same thing. They have not been able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers.
They're 3 out of 9 on 3rd down.
This is an area of the field where you think Chris Fink needs to kind of make a play for Notre Dame.
They bring him in motion. 4-man rush. Book trying to run for it. Dives to the line to make. Venables at the top of your screen. Can't believe it. They had him hemmed in. And Book, with that much discussed running ability, with a huge 3rd down conversion for Notre Dame.
Well, just has a good feel for when to leave the pocket and how to elude pressure, and that was a much needed conversion by Ian Book.
Spins away from the rush. He's going to run again, and he runs out of bounds with an 8-yard gain. We talked to Ian Book yesterday, Todd. He said he really watches closely and admires Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, but particularly Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And when you watch him play, similar height, similar athletic ability, very accurate. I mean, anybody would have a long way to go to be Drew Brees.
Yeah.
But you can see the comparisons. Play fake, and he's trying to get it to Boykin, who's trying to sell a flag, and he'll get it from A.J. Terrell. Tommy Reese, the quarterback coach, former Notre Dame quarterback, said to him, "Why can't you be Drew Brees?" And Book said, "If I'm going to be Drew Brees, I need to study more, because so much of Drew's success is cerebral."
Defense number 8, 15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic first down.
They need him to start playing like Drew Brees right now.
Working on Terrell down the bottom of the screen, short side of the field, and a little bit of a sell job by Boykin, but he gets the call.
That's from referee Pat Cam, and plenty of flags, so there was consensus among the officials.
I think they got to find a way to get Dexter Williams involved. Running it has not been the answer. Maybe a little screen pass or something to get him the football.
They give it to him on a draw, and that worked well. Chopped down by A.J. Terrell.
He's just too valuable of a part of your offense and too much of a big play potential player to be quiet in a game like this.
Huge part of their undefeated regular season, Dexter Williams. Hope you had a chance to see the great piece about Dexter and his family on game day this morning by Gene Wojciechowski. Book runs again for a first down. Dexter's parents are here. Cheryl on the right of your screen, Dad Leonard. Cheryl, 60 years old, battling 2 different diseases that could claim her life. Doctors have told her she probably will not live more than 5 more years. She's defeated the odds a few times, hoping to cheer for a Notre Dame touchdown, but Boykin had it batted away by A.J. Terrell.
Well, Ian Book underthrows this ball just barely. Boykin's got the separation. Throw that ball out, and it's a touchdown. Because it was underthrown, Terrell was able to get a hand back in there and knock it away. If he throws that ball to the middle of the end zone, it's a touchdown for Miles Boykin.
The Irish fans watching the replay on the enormous video screen overhead. It gets everybody's attention in this building. They wanted another flag. They didn't get it. Very quick jump across the line. Bryant got to Book. He got the ball away to Williams, but he's dropped for a greater loss by Isaiah Simmons. Yeah. Boy, it looked live like Bryant might have been offside. If not, he timed that perfectly.
Yeah, Robert Hainsey had no
Offside,
chance.
Defense number 7.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was.
Repeat second down.
He definitely got a head start on Robert Hainsey. Right here he is, working on the right tackle, anticipating the snap. A much more manageable situation for Ian Book and the Notre Dame offense now. It's second down.
Jones might have
And
to take
10 minutes to go, third quarter.
It was arguably
Boykin has been targeted 8 times in the game, only 3 catches so far.
Trying to take advantage of that height. Book zings one for a short gain. Chris Fink, excuse me, Alize Mack, and an excellent tackle by Kayvon Wallace. Third down and 2 and perhaps 4 down territory. The way this game is going, you have to think Brian Kelly wouldn't believe a field goal is worth much right now.
2 tight end set, a run formation here on 3rd and short.
It's a fake to Dexter Williams, and whistles blow it down.
Formation here on 3rd and short.
It's a fake to Dexter Williams, and whistles blow it down.
Before the snap, false start, left guard offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Notre Dame showing a run formation. They were going to go play action pass on that 3rd down and short. Now they're in more of a definite passing situation, but I agree with you. It's probably 2 down territory here for Brian Kelly. Ian Book just has to, he either has to make a quick decision, get rid of the ball quick, or make a decision to scramble against this pass rush.
4-man rush, but Book in trouble again in town. Another loss of 2.
Now this is just a 3-man rush. It's the guy, Xavier Thomas, number 3, is the guy that's going to put the most pressure on. Ian Book starting to feel the heat. He's starting to move maybe when he doesn't need to move on that particular play. Only a 3-man rush. You got 5 blockers. Trust your protection.
Well, they're going to try a long field goal. This is interesting. Justin Yoon told me Thursday 50 is probably my max. Brian Polian, the special teams coach, said 52 would be it. This would be 55. It didn't look like it was going to be a fake. There was a timeout called before the snap.
Before the snap, timeout Clemson, the first timeout of the half.
I think Dabo Swinney might have been thinking a fake was coming.
First tattoo?
Yeah.
Relax, amigo. It's gonna look okay.
Only okay?
No worries, boss. I'm one of the tattoo artists in the city. First tattoo?
You mean one of the best tattoo artists in the city, right?
Something like that.
Only okay?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to draw it first?
Stay in your lane, bro.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G, more for your thing. That's our thing. Especially when it comes to your network.
It can seem unreachable.
Amazing fights, but also kind of an amazingly crazy week.
Yeah, that's right. And listen, controversy continues to follow John Jones around. And it's unfortunate because this guy brings in so much skill, so much technique, so much heart into the octagon. His first fight against Alexander Gustafsson was an absolute classic, and I expect a lot of the same here in this rematch. That is happening, so that is the good news.
That is the good news. I think everyone's excited for this fight. I think that it's going to be an incredible card. I'm excited for the co-main event. And overall, the whole card is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a real shame that controversy follows John Jones because inside the octagon is just such fun to watch. Let's remember that first fight, they call it the greatest light heavyweight title fight of all time. We get the rematch tonight, guys. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And folks, don't be fooled. Anthony's kind of chill right now. He's licking his chops, trying to get next shot at one of the winners tonight, of course, at our main event. So we'll see if that happens. But here's how you can watch tonight's fights. The prelims kick off right here on FS1 at 8 Eastern. MMA legend BJ Penn is back in action against Jiu-Jitsu wonder kid Ryan Hall. Heavyweights Andrei Arlovsky and Walt Harris are going to handle feature prelim duties. Then it is on to our main card at 10 Eastern. Chad Mendez may punch his ticket to a title shot in our pay-per-view opener. And we've got such a fun stylistic clash between former interim champ Carlos Condit and the man with one of the best mullets in the biz, Michael Chiesa. But Flo, of course, it's the John Jones-Alexander Gustafsson rematch at the top of the marquee. This is why we're putting the cash money down. Maybe the best light heavyweight fight of all time here back at UFC 165. So take us back to that night.
Well, listen, the reason for that is, Karen, is that both men came in with some phenomenal skill and were successful on all sides. Listen, the reason for that is, Karen, is that both men came in with some phenomenal skill and were successful on all sides. Listen, the reason for that is, Karen, is...
And it's down at the 1-yard line. Alohi Gilman, the starting safety, with help from Chase Claypool, and a job well done by Tyler Newsome. I was going to ask if you liked the decision, Todd, but now you have to like it with the benefit of hindsight.
Taco Bell invites you to a world that defies all logic. A place where burritos are filled with delicious nachos or indulgent chicken enchiladas, all for the unbelievable price of $1. No, you're not having a delicious burrito dream. You're eating the new $1 Grande Burritos from Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu. Value beyond belief. You're eating the new $1 Grande Burritos from Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu. Value beyond belief.
Dad! Can you drive me to Jessica's house?
At Northwestern Mutual, this is what our version of financial planning looks like. Tomorrow's important, but so's making the most of the house before they're out of the house. Spend your life living. Find an advisor at northwesternmutual.com.
This season, keep your stories interesante, like Dos Equis, the beer whose label inspired the greatest comeback in history.
Authentic Mexican cerveza. 4.2% alcohol by volume. 1 gram protein, 0 gram fat.
Yeah, Turtle Coach.
12 fluid ounces.
Dos Equis, keep it interesante.
There's a story out there. It's your financial story. Bankers and lenders are seeing it. Make sure you see it too. Get your free Experian financial profile only at Experian.com/profile.
1, 2,
Get your free Experian financial
3,
profile only at Experian.com/profile.
4, 5, 6, 3.
The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, brought to you by Taco Bell's new Cravings Value Menu. Value beyond belief. Northwestern Mutual. Spend your life living. And Experian. Identity protection has a new identity.
5th year of the college football playoff. Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, and Alabama. The winners of the first 4. Kyler Murray and the Oklahoma Sooners arriving. at the Capital One Orange Bowl, getting ready to take on #1 Alabama after we're done here in Arlington, Texas.
Well, we saw Kyler Murray up close and personal the last 2 weeks of the season. Saw him in Morgantown against West Virginia, and then the Big 12 championship game. And he's special, there's no question. But he's not seen a defense the caliber of Alabama, particularly in that defensive front.
The Notre Dame punt has pinned Clemson at the 2. Out of the end zone, out of the gun, the true freshman Trevor Lawrence. Travis Etienne almost broke free. Alohi Gilman, the safety, up around the line of scrimmage, stopped it after a gain of a couple. Rare quiet day for Etienne, just 23 yards on 9 carries. 2.6 average, came in averaging over 8 yards per carry, 8.3.
The way Gilman flies up there to stop the run, he's very susceptible to a play action fake and a throw deep.
He's creeping up close to the right end of Lawrence, who zings one on target for a first down. 6th catch for Justin Ross. That is a new single game high in this his freshman year. Previously had 5 catches twice, and he set the Cotton Bowl Classic receiving yards mark in the first half with 137, now up to 148. Previous first half Cotton Bowl mark was 128, receiving by Quincy Morgan of Kansas State against Tennessee in 2001. Etienne, nice bounce outside. Can he get it loose? He didn't get it loose, but he got, it appears, 10 for another first down.
I think that's his best run of the day. I think prior to that, his longest run was 8 yards. Was able to pop that thing back outside. Lead Khalid Kareem down at the end of that play. His longest run was 8 yards.
Junior defensive end from Detroit. 7:06 to go in the third quarter. You're a Notre Dame fan. The clock's moving quickly. Yeah. It's been kind of an excruciating game for Brian Kelly in the Irish. You think of all the little things that look like they were going to go their way that haven't. The kickoff fumble by Clemson in the first half by Kendrick. Looks like they've recovered. Notre Dame did, deep in territory. The replay review took the ball back to Clemson, rightly so it seemed.
Yeah.
Ian Book looked like he was going to get away with a fumble. Then after the replay review, he didn't.
Well, and I think Brian Kelly was exactly right when he told Tom coming off the field at halftime. We're not playing good enough football. Right. We're capable of winning this game in terms of how we can play.
Are
we're
they
not
though?
playing good enough.
Do you think they are?
I think they have to play as close to a perfect game. I do think, that's why I said in the beginning, their margin for error is small in a game like this. But I think they are a good football team, good enough to win if they play their game.
On 1st and 10, the fake Etienne. Coney, the linebacker, blitzing, and it pays off for Notre Dame. Jason Ademilola is in there as well. Ademilola is a true freshman, number 57.
There's Coney here. He's been flirting with it. He shows blitz. Sometimes he comes, sometimes he doesn't. Runs right through Etienne. That forces Trevor Lawrence to step up in the pocket. And good pressure that time. Heinisch and Coney with the good play.
A loss of 7. Off the hands of the tight end, Mylan Richard. And that was very nearly disastrous for Clemson. Richard, the nephew of the great Herschel Walker.
All kind of comes fluttering out of there. Not typically what you see from Trevor Lawrence. A little bit high. And now 3rd and long. And for Trevor Lawrence, take care of the football, make a good decision. The deep dig routes have been open on 3rd down if Notre Dame chooses to play zone.
Flushed from the pocket. Lawrence chased again by Ogundeji, and he threw it away.
Khalid Kareem, who was out a play or two ago, back on the field, and part of the guy giving chase there, and a nice stop on 3rd down.
Todd, is there any psychology at work right now? read all week, all month leading up to the game. Notre Dame had a very rough recent history in BCS and New Year's Six bowl games.
Right.
They've lost the last 5, all of them one-sided, including that national championship game. This team has consistently said that's in the past. We weren't there for any of that. But is that a factor to overcome tonight psychologically for Notre Dame?
I don't think it is, because like you said, it's a completely different team. I mean, they're being outplayed, and we said all along that Clemson and Alabama are clearly the 2 best teams in college football, and they're getting beat by a better team right now.
42-yard punt by Will Spires.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you'll earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just airline purchases. Think about all the double miles you could be earning. Limited double miles.
Holy moly, that's a lot of miles!
Shh. About all the double miles you could be earning. Limited double miles.
Holy moly, that's a lot of miles!
What's in your wallet?
We really love the holidays at Graham Graham's, but it's tough to...
Relax.
The Dish guy heard us. Said with the Dish Anywhere app, we could bring the comfort of our home TV along with us. Live TV, on demand, even our DVR shows.
Feel good shows.
That put us right at ease. Mostly.
So many eyes.
Take live TV, on demand, and your home DVR anywhere. Dish, tuned into you.
Bond and Seal. I'm delivering a lot of Flex Seal this holiday, so I turned the boat into a flying sleigh. Yeah! Everyone wants Flex Tape, the super strong waterproof tape that can patch, bond, seal, and repair. Flex Glue is the super strong rubberized glue with amazing instant grab. Make everyone happy. Give them the Flex Seal family of products.
Coming up on New Year's Eve, the Red Box Bowl kicks off between Oregon and Michigan State at 2:30 Eastern on Fox. Then flip over to FS1 as number 17 Utah battles number 22 Northwestern in the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. That's at 6:30 Eastern, or catch it all in the Fox Sports app.
She is the most prolific finisher in
Union Holiday Bowl. That's at 6:30 Eastern, or catch it all in the Fox Sports app.
She is the most prolific finisher in
Look at some of the moments from tonight's game through our AT&T pylon cameras. Look at cameras everywhere, 50 in all, as you mentioned earlier. Lots of toys for our producer Phil Dean, our director Scott Johnson, and our terrific crew, which we've been privileged to work all season. Todd, and I know you, Holly, Tom.
Offense number 74, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
All want to send our best wishes along to our great pal and such an important part of our group, Jim Birch, our operations producer, who's at home recovering from some recent surgery. And we are all certainly thinking of Jim here tonight.
Yeah, nobody better than
Amen
Jim.
to that. A rough start to this possession before they run a play, a false start. Dexter Williams gets that back and then some as he turns the left corner for 11, banged down by Isaiah Simmons and A.J. Terrell.
Boy, you see the speed of Dexter Williams on that play, because the guy in pursuit, Isaiah Simmons, runs a 4.3 and covers a lot of ground with those long legs, and he was not able to get the right angle on Dexter Williams.
He's the fastest player on their team. And he's 6'2", 235 pounds. 40.5-inch vertical. Buck running out of time, threw it behind Dexter Williams.
I'll tell you, the coverage downfield has been really good for Clemson in this game as well. I mean, there have not been guys running open. In the past, the two teams that threw for a lot of yards against Clemson, Texas A&M early in the year and then South Carolina late, there were some miscommunications, some guys out of position, giving up big plays. None of that today. They have really been in the right spots. Brent Venables has them dialed in correctly.
3rd down and 4. They crowd the line of scrimmage. Williams trying to run through it. He does. Breaks a tackle and gets stopped by J.D. Davis. But it's a 1st down for Notre Dame across midfield.
Nice block by the left guard. Watch 69 Aaron Banks gets the block on Huggins, and Williams sits in right behind him. Tanner Muse, the safety, is unblocked, and he's not able to get Dexter Williams to the ground. Good tough run by number 2.
Time for Book, one of the few times today, and he's on target. Miles Boykin yanked down by Tanner Muse, and a gain of 20 for Notre Dame.
Nice little combination route. Watch the tight end hold the corner, Terrell, and opens up a hole between the corner and the safety. And Ian Book gets the ball to Boykin. Boykin, the leading receiver in the game, his 4th catch now.
5-man rush, and Book again forced to take it down and scramble. He can't get away. Austin Bryant ran him down from behind.
See, Clemson has so much depth on the defensive front. They start this possession with backup guys on the field, and now when they get in scoring territory, they bring their starters back. Austin Bryant beats 2 guys. I mean, that's a running back and a tight end. Austin Bryant beats them both and gets the sack behind the line of scrimmage.
There's been no drop-off in the front of that Clemson defense without Dexter Lawrence suspended for today's game. They have won the battle against this Notre Dame line, and that continues. Book at the last minute tried to get rid of it as he got planted again by Austin Bryant, and the officials are talking about this.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback's knee was on the ground prior to the pass. 3rd down.
Now, Austin Bryant should not be coming free on a rush. Brent Venables with a little different look that time, and one of the best pass rushers on this team gets a free shot at the quarterback.
And his knee is down before the ball's out of his hand.
Clemson, true to who they've been, 15 times in this game they've rushed more than 4 guys. They like to put pressure on the quarterback, especially on 3rd down.
And it is affecting Book noticeably more antsy than usual. His pass intercepted, picked off by Nolan Turner with some blockers, and knocked down by Chris Fink at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately, let me think. That's probably a permaban from Twitch. Definitely a permaban. That's just folders for like IT stuff, whatever. That's a fucking permaban from Twitch and probably a prison sentence. That's just kind of creepy.
Complete
Permaban. Pictures of my dogs. Permaban. Fan signs. Oh, someone asked about the fan signs solder. Yeah, it's. I'm hoping I haven't got any yet, but maybe I get some soon. It's just waiting. It's just kind of, you know, maybe if some girl writes my name on her face, I'm waiting for that one to be full up. Well, probably not. Probably lose a few friends. Open when sad. Yeah, this is just for just like so I can imagine what I'd look like with a. That's what that is. Anyway, so yeah, I got a few different folders. Whatever. Damn, bruh, I know, right? Do you think other guilds will stream their progress in future World First races? They will if they're not pussies. Why not transmog? Transmog for the casuals. So the answer to that question is no, they won't. We'll still be the only ones. Evangelinis for dungeons? Lenience, probably. Oh shit, I gotta play in respect. I'm actually excited about tonight, man. I got some good upgrades in heroic. Look, I'm 378. I'm literally the boss is dead. Josh is Charlotte married. Charlotte is my younger sister. She doesn't really speak to me anymore since the incident, so I don't think she has a boyfriend or anything. I think she's single, but I don't know. Well, I care about top-up time before you care about his last birthday. That's not exclusively all I care about. It's just what I care about a lot of the time. What incident? I've mentioned this before. Alright. It's nothing to do with the scratch wall. It's nothing to do with the sex doll or anything, right? It's just... Yeah, I've already explained this. I don't know, I didn't... We went to the same school together, right? Me and my sister went to the same school together. And she was 2 years younger than me. And you know, teenagers, whatever, they're all fucking horny. So a lot of guys would try and fuck with me, right? And they'd be like, oh, I really want to bang your sister. They'd always be like, Josh, I want to fuck your sister. Because they thought they were trying to wind me up, right? They were trying to get to me, etc. You know? And it started to, you know, it starts to wear, you know, you get a bit protective, you get a bit whatever. So I was like, hey, boys, chill the fuck out. But if you show that it's bothering you, then you're just gonna get it worse. You know? Anyway, I wanted it to stop. And I figured if you can't beat them, join them, sort of. So the next time someone came up to me and was like, Josh, I want to fuck your sister, I just said, me too. I was like, yeah, me too. They didn't do it again. They didn't speak to me again at all, actually. But they also told her. And she didn't understand the logic. So, not...
The 39-yard line, well short of the first down by about 10 yards.
Brent Venables, he wants every play. They have really played well today. Well schooled. He does rip the ball out. Is there any, do they call forward progress? I mean, he's not down to the ground, but this is a great play by Simmons, ripping the ball out.
This may be another one of those excruciating developments for the Fighting Irish. Brent Venables.
Yeah. He can't advance the ball, but he certainly looks like he got possession of the football.
I think we've seen a couple of examples why, and there'll be another replay review.
Prior to the clock expiring, timeout Clemson. The second timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
There have been a lot of questions about why hasn't Brent Venables taken a head coaching job. He certainly had the opportunity to have several. And Dabo Swinney said he is so competitive, Venables, that he's not going to go someplace where you're going to lose at the beginning. Right. He can't stand to lose. He's been a Division I full-time assistant for 23 years. He's never had a losing season.
Well, and I also read a quote from Brent. He said, look, I like a challenge as much as anybody, but I've got everything that I need, want, or desire in Clemson right now. He's got a son
on the football team.
He's got a son who's a freshman.
He'd stick around.
He's got a younger son who is a junior who's already been offered a scholarship by Clemson. So, I mean, that's a big part of the quality of life that means a lot to him and a lot of the coaches on this Clemson staff.
Can we give you one more that makes it an easy decision?
What's that?
He makes $2.2 million to be the defensive coordinator. It's not like the old days where guys took a head coaching job because the difference in the money made it necessary almost to take it. These assistant coaches, he's the second highest paid assistant in the country behind LSU's defense coordinator Dave Aranda, who makes $2.5 million.
And really, the whole coaching pool, money spent on assistants for Clemson, is second only to LSU. So they pay all their assistants well, and Brent Venables, one of the best paid in the country.
And Dabo, every bit as competitive. They're going to keep the ball with Notre Dame. Let's bring in Bill LeMonnier once again. Did they get that one right?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I think he's going to challenge this one. That ball was out, and there was no announcement about forward progress.
But didn't hear any whistle blow or anything, right?
But if the officials on the field were ruling that the runner was down, which he wasn't, the ball was out and stalled beforehand, it's challengeable, it's reviewable, and Clemson should have the football.
The Clemson coach called timeout to challenge the ruling on the field. Unfortunately, the ruling on the field was forward progress, which is not reviewable. Therefore, Clemson will not be charged a timeout.
And that's the key to that. If there was forward progress ruled by the official, replay's out of the equation.
I don't want to jinx it, Bill, but you're throwing a no-hitter.
Oh, he's been unbelievable.
Announcer whammy. I mean, you are right on it today.
I wish I could have done that when I was on the field, Sean.
So do a lot of players and coaches and fans.
Well, thank you.
Fans still booing. Tyler Newsome waiting to punt.
The clock will start and they're ready for play.
That was a big break for Notre Dame right there. I mean, that looked like a turnover for sure.
They were probably feeling like they were due to catch one. But as you said, you make your own breaks, and clearly Clemson has been the much better team today. So they started on the ready for play. They end the quarter before the punt snap. We'll be back with the fourth quarter of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic right after these messages.
Not long ago, Rhonda started here. And then more jobs began to appear. These techs in a lab, this builder in a hard hat, the welders and electricians who do all of that. The diner staffed up because they all needed lunch. Teachers, doctors, jobs grew a bunch. What started with one job spread all around because each job in energy creates many more in this town. Energy lives here.
I put work in front of family. Blew my chance. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for everything.
For a nasty cold, take new DayQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool and vaporize it with an intense rush of Vicks Vapors. New DayQuil Severe with Vicks VapoCool. The daytime coughing, stuffy head, vaporize your cold medicine.
Hey, who are you?
Oh, hey, Jeff, I'm a car thief.
What?
I'm here to steal your car because, well, that's my job.
What?
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 What? What?
It happens.
And you got cut rate car insurance? Paying for this could feel like getting robbed twice.
So get Allstate. I'd be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
The National Championship Trophy presented by Dr. Pepper. It's in Miami tonight for the Capital One Orange Bowl coming up next. All four of these playoff teams have their sights set on taking that trophy home from Santa Clara a week from Monday night. Notre Dame's hopes fading fast. Down 30-3 as we go to the fourth quarter, and Tyler Newsome has had a tremendous game in what is likely his last game. Great hustle by Gilman. He couldn't save it. And what a career it's been for Tyler Newsome. We talked earlier, captain.
Yeah.
Got every vote from his teammates. Brian Kelly said no player's ever done that, and he's a punter who spends a lot of time by himself at practice. Spoke with Tyler the other day from Carrollton, Georgia, between Atlanta and Birmingham. Said he wasn't highly recruited in high school. As a matter of fact, he didn't punt until after his senior year in high school. He went to a couple of kicking camps. He paid his own way to go to Notre Dame's. He said, I'd already been to 4 or 5. My parents, I didn't want to ask them for money. I was a lifeguard. I had $150 to my name. So my aunt, who worked for an airline, got me a buddy pass. I went to the Atlanta airport to fly up there, and they told me I wasn't going to get on the plane. They didn't have any seats. Here's Adam Choice with a long run. Said I was walking away from the gate. They called me at the last minute. Come on, we have a opportunity for you. We have a seat. So he went to Notre Dame. He competed in their camp, paid his $150 to go to the camp out of his own pocket. They picked 4 punters to kick in front of Brian Kelly. He was not one of them. Tavian Feaster, the running back now. Long throw by Trevor Lawrence, and almost a one-handed catch made. So Newsome thought, that's it. I'm not going to get an opportunity at Notre Dame. And Bob Elliott, longtime member of the Notre Dame staff, grabbed him and said, you know what? You're really good. I love your leg. I'm going to get you in front of Brian Kelly. And Brian came out of his office, watched him punt, and said, wow. And he said, Coach, I've never punted in a game in my life. He said, I don't care. We've seen enough. We're going to give you a scholarship. Almost didn't get on the plane. Almost didn't get in front of Brian Kelly. Will leave as one of the great punters in school history.
And a captain.
And a captain. And deservedly so. He is a very impressive young man. Deep down the depth chart now. Holly mentioned some injuries, and with a big lead, no reason to push it. So it's TJ Chase with the catch and run. Redshirt sophomore from Plant City, Florida, just his 11th catch of the year.
It's one thing that Dabo Swinney really tries to do in any game is play a lot of guys. I mean, they really believe that's one of the strengths of their team is their depth on both sides of the ball, and it keeps guys engaged.
Yeah, they basically rotate in and out at wide receiver.
Yeah.
You and I were talking during the Syracuse-Clemson game. You know, they're trying to battle back, and they had a lot of big plays, and Justin Ross is on the sideline. Most other teams in the country, he's in for every play. But they have such talent and depth that they can stick to the rotations and keep people fresh. And it paid off for them in that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
They kind of wore Syracuse out on a warm day. And they're on the move again. Tavian Feaster.
Well, and I think part of that culture that we talked about with Dabo Swinney and Clemson, that part of that is guys know they're going to get a chance to play. If they do the right thing, if they work hard, if they're right in the classroom, they work hard in practice, they're going to get onto the field. And a lot of times with that position at wide receiver, what you see is you have certain guys in on running plays and you bring your studs in on passing plays, and he doesn't do that. I mean, he was a former walk-on wide receiver himself. He knows that route, and those guys all get in on whatever the play is.
Injured Notre Dame player, Adakumbo Ogundeje. Timeout.
I hear it in the background. She's watching it too, saying, and this is where. Here you go. See you next week. Yes.
I've never seen that before.
When I book at Hilton.com, I get to select my room from the floor plan, free Wi-Fi, and the price match guarantee.
So with Hilton, there is no catch.
Yeah, the only catch is I'm never leaving. No, I'm serious, I live here now. Book at Hilton.com and get the Hilton price match guarantee.
Hey Google, add aftershave to my shopping list.
If you want a job that's different,
gives you the opportunity to innovate and be creative.
Be a teacher.
We need passionate teachers and educated children to make a big impact in this world.
there's no way to know how much of a difference you can make until you're teaching.
If for a single moment you feel like you could inspire a child to impact the world around them, consider being a teacher.
They're on the field warming up now down in South Florida for the Capital One Orange Bowl, and all eyes on Tua Tagovailoa. How is he moving around on that injured ankle? Warm-up shots we've seen make it look like he is moving well, getting ready to take on Oklahoma with a kickoff at 8:10 Eastern time, so we're under an hour away. On 3rd down and 2, Tavian Feaster, 1st down and more for Clemson. Dragged down by Drew Tranquil. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, Maria Taylor, who will be covering Alabama in that next game, said that the athletic trainer Jeff Allen said the problem with Tua injuring his left ankle and being a left-handed quarterback is he has to generate power and rotation with his left leg. The rotation was bothering Tua at first, but he said after last Wednesday's practice, it's finally coming back and his lateral movement is getting much better.
My only concern would be not him planting or throwing, because I think he's progressed with that, is what's it going to be like the first time he gets hit, or the first time he gets hit low on that left leg in the game. That'll be interesting to watch tonight.
TJ Chase taken down by Jalen Elliott. And one of the stories of the year was Jalen Hurts riding it out after losing his starting job at 26-2.
I thought it was the best.
There and then
I thought it was the best
rescuing
story. I thought it was the best story in college football this season. I really did. I mean, in the same stadium that he lost it, 11 months later, he's back on the stage to win the game for his team.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where Tua Tagovailoa led the comeback in the national championship at the end of last season. Jalen Hurts brought them back against Georgia in the SEC title game. Feaster stopped at the 20-yard line by Jonathan Bonner.
You know, this is probably the last possession we will see the starting offensive line for Clemson. I really want to tip my hat to them, because as I've watched them this year, and this is the 4th year in a row Clemson's been in the playoffs, this is the best offensive line they've had of any of their playoff teams. They've always had great skill guys, but this is the most physical group up front that they've had, and they have kind of controlled things here in the second half.
Low throw by Lawrence, and it cost them the first down. Travion Thompson the catch. When we spoke with Tony Elliott yesterday, or Thursday I guess it was, he said we really became a legitimate national championship contending team when the offensive line improved. So that was the thing that was really holding us back. Now they're a strength.
Started with that. They got elite quarterback play for a couple years with Deshaun Watson, and of course now Trevor Lawrence kind of taking over that mantle. Kelly Bryant got them to the playoffs last year.
4th down and 1. Clemson going for it, and Etienne bounced off the pile. Looked like he'd be stopped short.
More fakes by Hall would also help. He's not faking quite as much as we've seen in the past. Not as much faking to set up his offense. And now we got to see 6-0 Bevan. I mean, how's the experience factor going to lay into these later rounds, Joe? I mean, we don't know if he's going to keep the gas, keep the pace up. Has he slowed down? Is he going to slow down?
Ooh, good right hand over the top.
And that was a beautiful fake by Bevan that pulled out the jump knee of Hall, and then he got countered again. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what fakes do. They bring out the offense in everybody you fight, and then you can counter that.
There was a good spinning kick to the body by Uriah Hall. Got the attention of Bevan.
Yep, not full throttle, but certainly landed. 3 minutes here to go, round 2.
It didn't have the desired effect, but it did land. But Uriah needs a lot more than that. I mean, in my opinion, we're halfway through this round, and he's lost most of the fight.
Right. Half as much output as his counterpart, Lewis. He's landed just 15 total strikes, says Hall.
It's just Lewis seems more in control, too. He seems more hungry.
The biggest difference I'm noticing in the offense, too, is Hall is only throwing one shot at a time, maybe two. And Bevan's throwing combinations to everything. finishing his hand combinations with kicks, faking before he starts his hand combinations. There's just much more fluent offense.
He hit him right in the middle there, right in the cup. I mean, he's doing that again. That's not technically low, but that's in the crack. That really is.
We call that it's a rough spot. We'll put it that way. It still hurts very bad.
But the knee absolutely could be going to the crotch.
It looks more like in the glute. We'll hope it's more the glute.
That time. But there were a couple that went straight up the middle. Now he's doing the calf. I like how he's doing that, stomping down on the calf. That's excellent. Uriah just doesn't seem fired up. I mean, that's probably the best way to look at it. I mean, he's in a dogfight here, and he seems more defensive than he does offensive.
And that was what Bevon Lewis said coming in. That was his takeaway from just observing Hall in his last few fights.
Well, I mean, he got hammered on this last fight by Paulo Costa. Right. I mean, that was a tough loss. He got beaten down, and you got to wonder how many of those a fighter has in his career. How many he's willing to take like that.
I mean, it looks to me like Lewis is in a fight and Hall is sparring. That's the best way I could put it.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Now Hall working off of that jab.
Now he's got the pressure on it. Now he's pouring out. This is what Hall needed to do, and now we're seeing maybe he was trying to wait for Bevon to slow down a little, and he is slowing down. Let's see if Hall could take advantage of it, start piecing together long combinations and start picking them apart.
Well, that was good defense right there by Hall. Good movement. Oh, there's a spinning kick again.
And now you're seeing him put the pressure and pour it on. He was almost waiting for Bevon to slow down.
Big deep breath by Bevon. And Uriah Hall sensing it. This is his opportunity, but is it too little too late?
Or is he going to make the read for the third round in Hall and try to pour it on heavy with experience?
So pretty good final minute to round 2 for Uriah Hall, but he would appear to have some work to do in round 3.
There's a big right by Bevon. And a leg kick behind him. He's just so much activity from him. There's a punch and a kick behind it. Missed with the elbow. And here's Uriah. There's that spinning back kick. Really didn't hit clean. Kind of hit more to the chest.
All right, some water. Listen, he's going to come out with that sense of urgency. If he brushes too hard, crash in and clinch up. You're beating him in the clinch, right? You're beating him in the clinch. And if he's hunting hard, keep your 10 in front. Stay in the pocket with your jab. Come at him from there. Don't let him push you there. Don't let him make points over you. If he throw one, back with 3. Don't let him make points over you now. This is going to be our round. We knock this guy out now. Let's go.
Third and final round. Brittany Palmer, thank you. Ariane Celeste, Vanessa Hansen with us tonight at the Forum in Inglewood. Uriah Hall. If the stools are any indication, perhaps he's the fresher fighter here, but in all likelihood, down 2-0. Hall is in black, Bevon Lewis, the UFC newcomers in white.
I think Hall is sensing that he's behind and also sensing that Bevon may be slowing down towards the end of that last round.
Still throwing one shot at a time, though, Joe. And that's the issue. He needs more than one.
What's the fingers? That's a punch. That's a punch. Second hand was closed. Second hand was closed. Second hand was closed. I rest. Relax.
Mark Goddard getting into it with the Jackson Wink corner a little bit there.
Yeah, since this place is half full, you can really hear everything that's going on in the corners.
Refs over there punking the cornerman. Real tough.
Goddard, one of the best in the business for sure.
Nice elbow over the top from Bevon Lewis.
And a good right hand to the body behind it.
Precious time ticking off the clock here for Hall.
I mean, this is just such an opportunity for Bevon to come in here against a top 15 fighter like Uriah Hall in his UFC debut. And in my opinion, at least so far, he's put on a show. It's really excellent to see the kind of quality in these young contenders.
Yeah, man.
And guys are coming in.
There it was. That's all he ever needs. That's all he ever needs. And he knows it. He's always looking for that one-punch knockout, and he got it.
Oh, my goodness.
And he got it.
Right when I just got done saying how good Bevon's looking, Uriah Hall closed the show with one shot.
And listen, that is what he goes out on. He either knocks you out cold with a one-punch knockout shot, or he gets somebody throws more offense than him.
Mike Wigglejohn right there says it all. He had his head buried in his hands. He knew he had a promising young contender that was putting on a fantastic performance. He zigged when he should have zagged. He got overconfident, and Uriah Hall lands a haymaker.
Uppercut right off the counter of the right hand. So he waits for Lewis to throw the right, and then boop.
It's
right?
kind of like a right hand hook.
Back step uppercut hook. It's like a transition right in the middle.
Let's look at it one more time. Boom.
Off the back foot, too. That's moving
Beautiful.
backwards.
But perfectly placed. I mean, what a huge come-from-behind win for Uriah Hall.
Huge. Beautiful, beautiful counter shot.
And as we said off the top, Uriah Hall had 13 UFC appearances, and the benefit of those coming in against the UFC newcomer Bevon Lewis. And Dom, you sort of thought maybe in round 2 he was biding his time a little bit and trying to drag Lewis into the proverbial deep waters. Uriah Primetime Hall with another huge rally and his 7th UFC win tonight. Nice to see Bevon Lewis back to his feet. That's certainly a disappointing way to fall from the ranks of the unbeaten. Bruce Buffer now to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 32 seconds of the 3rd round, declaring the winner by knockout.